First of all, so get yourself comfortable, however that looks for you. And we can start with some breathing, just nice and gentle, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax down where you are. Just nice, gentle breathing. And whenever you're ready to, you can start to close down those eyes and just relax into that position. Focusing on that breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax into where you are. Notice how when you breathe in, it affects your body. Just noticing the air rushing in through the nose, down into the lungs, how the chest inflates, almost sits you up straight as you breathe in. Notice how it affects your body as you do so. And as you breathe out, notice how it relaxes you down, shoulders relax, and any other things you can notice. Just focusing on all the nuances of breathing here. Hopefully now you're starting to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more focused inwards. Now we're in that position. Let's thank ourselves for being here today, for turning up. Remembering that turning up is always one of the hardest parts of doing the session. So congratulations for doing that. And especially if you're doing that as consistently as you can over the weeks, that's fantastic. And reminding ourselves that we don't need to worry about what's come before us today, what's coming after today's session. All we need to do is to focus on the here and now, this next hour, focusing on our breathing, our movement, and staying present throughout the session. Continue your breathing there as you do that. As you breathe in, let's shrug the shoulders up. Sit up nice and tall as well. Shrug the shoulders up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you can relax them down. And if you haven't already, you can start to open up your eyes with that as well. So shrug up, squeeze those shoulders, relax down, breathe out, and repeat through. So breathing in, squeezing those shoulders nice and tight. Breathe out, relax it off. And we're going to do the same sort of thing, but instead of going up and down, we're going to come forwards and back. So as you breathe in, squeeze those shoulder blades together back behind us. As you breathe out, push them forwards. Let's do some nice gentle rotations round now as we do this either direction because we're swapping a minute. Just go nice gentle circles round with those shoulders. Starting to loosen them up. Let's work gentle round. And then let's change direction and go the opposite way. Let's continue that shoulder rotation round, but now let's bring our hands onto our shoulders as we do so. Start to bring them round still. And as always with this, we can do both arms together. We can do alternating arms if you need to, or you can just do the one side if you can only do the one side. But just get them going round. Keep those shoulders rotating as if you were before as well. So it's kind of like shrug up and round. Right, let's change direction, go the opposite way now. Again, we can do both arms together, or we can do alternating arms, or just the one. Let's work, everybody. Just good range of motion on this. Nice flowing through. Yeah, let's increase that a little bit more now by taking one arm round. Going around in a circle, nice and slow and controlled. And if you can't get that full circle on that, just get into where you can. So even if it's a smaller version, that's absolutely fine. Just going around, just taking that shoulder through stage by stage, gradually getting more and more movement. As we do so. Let's change direction on that first arm there. Mine's a bit clicky and clunky today. Let's swap over to the other side now, moving that one round. Again, the best that you can do. Change direction. Okay, let's introduce, they're a bit more warmed up now, the shoulders, so let's introduce some stretching into it. Just a little bit of light stretching when we reach over to one side. Going back down, over to the other side, and go back and forth between the two. What we do is to, when you feel a stretch, if you can feel in that area, just hold it for 1 to 2 seconds and then go over to the other side. And if you can't feel in that area, just go to where you feel a bit of resistance, and then that would be where the stretch would be. And if you can't come up and over your head with the arm, we can come across the front of the body a little bit more instead. Let's now go either one arm forwards or both arms forwards. We'll reach forwards and then reach back. It's a little bit difficult for me to demonstrate the both arms together, so I'll do it with one. Reach forwards as best you can so you feel that stretch. Then come back with both arms. Oh, big spasm. And then reach forwards with the other one. And then come back if you're doing alternating arms, or if you can do both together, you can always do both together. But try and feel a bit of a stretch if you can in the fit in that area across sort of the back of the shoulder. And then as you come back out, you can do both arms together, feel the stretch across the chest there. Work, everybody feel that stretch at the front. Open up that chest. I lost everybody for a second. Was that the same?
There you are.
Yeah. So what happened there?
I thought you were under arrest.
Good work. Let's go into our last sort of stretch movement here. So we're going to rotate the palms up and then rotate them down. You can do this both arms together or one arm at a time. Up and to the side, so you can see it from there. So rotate it up, rotate it down, and you should feel a stretch sort of deep within the shoulder joint there. As you do so, if you find it hard to keep your arms up, you can just do the same but lower. Or you can even have your arms down the side, but just rotate them out to the side. Whatever works for you there. And feel it probably more on the external rotation where you bring the arms up than you do on the internal rotation. Yeah, ease it off there. Let's do some shoulder rotations just to sort of reset ourselves there. Do a couple in each direction. And let's go into some mobility in our neck now. So it's nice, gentle looking up, looking down, and going back and forth between the two. Nice, easy movements. And just going for a good range of motion. However that looks for you. Don't go to any point where it starts to hurt. Just nice and gentle, nice and easy. And when you find yourself looking down next, let's hold it there and let gravity take over a little bit. Breathe into it here, let gravity take over, feeling that stretch a little bit on the back of our neck. Probably won't be a lot, but that's okay, just a little bit of a stretch. Then let's ease out of it, looking up and down a couple of times. And then the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold that position. And then remembering our extra bits here, make sure the mouth is closed. You can put your hand on your sternum and gently pull down as you're going up. And you'll feel that increased stretch through the front of your neck there. And in this position, you can always, as you're extended, you can lean over to one side or the other. You can feel that stretch slightly shifts as you do so. You might find that one side is tighter than the other even, which is perfectly normal and natural. That could be to any reason. Maybe you lean to one side slightly at a desk. Maybe you sleep on one side rather than the other. That can lead to that imbalance. But I know doing these stretches can really help to bring a bit more balance into it. As we ease out of that one now, do a couple of looking up and downs as we do so. And then let's go into our rotation now, looking one side to the other, back and forth between the two. Black, everybody. And the next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position there. So we're looking to the left, and if you want to increase it, take your left hand, place it on the right collarbone, and gently pull it diagonally downwards towards the armpit. As you do so, you'll feel maybe a bit more of a stretch between that collarbone and the jawbone. And you may need to play around with your hand position a little bit here to find the right spot. You'll know when you do. It'll feel a little bit similar to when we do the extension one. That's because there's lots of muscles here in the neck doing lots of different movements. You have a very highly mobile neck, so you need lots of muscles to move it in those directions. Just feeling the stretch here. Okay, let's ease out of that one. A couple of lefts and rights to ease out. And then when you find yourself looking to the right, let's hold it there. If you want to increase it further, right hand on left collarbone and gently pull that down towards the left armpit. Right, let's ease out of that now, doing a couple of lefts and rights. And then let's get into the lateral flexion, bringing one ear to one shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder, back and forth between the two. Gentle movements. And as always, this one feels probably a little bit tighter than the others. But when we find ourselves bringing our left ear to the left shoulder, let's hold it there. And as always, if you want to increase that stretch, you can bring the right arm down to increase the distance between the right ear and the right shoulder. You can either have it straight down or behind you. It just slightly shifts the focus of where it is, depending on which one you do. Feel that stretch there. Then ease out a bit, doing a couple of lefts and rights. And then let's get our right ear on our right shoulder, dropping that left arm down or behind us. And again, feeling that stretch there. Down a bit. Changing a couple of left and rights. Nice, let's go into the rest of our spine now. Let's go through some extension and some flexion, back and forth between the two. I'll come to the side in case you need to sit on there. So it's when the spasm stop. So I'll start with the curling down, the flexion. So curling over like a prawn, then extending through like a high jumper, going back and forth between the two. You may even feel that, get a little bit of clicking going on there, or self chiropractic action, I guess. So just keeping nice and gentle movements. We don't have to go to the extremes of the movement. We just want to get through that range of motion. With any of these spinal movements, the important bit is to just move range of motion and just moving through that nice and gentle. So let's go into the rotation now. Rotating around one side, to the other side, back and forth between the two. Good work. When we get ourselves around to the left side, let's hold it there for a little bit and just breathe into it. Good work. Let's ease out of that. Do a couple of rotations either side. And then let's go over to the right side now. And feeling that in there. Good, ease out of it. And then let's go into our lateral flexion, which will go down to one side, down to the other. You can use your arms to assist in holding on as you go down. So then let's come it around in a whirlpool now to finish off those spinal movements. And let's change direction. Good work. Let's have a little hydration break. And then we'll go into the next part of the session after that. Then we finish, and then we'll move into it. Okay, so for this, we're going to do some parts of some stuff we've already done already. That's the best way to explain it. Better way to do it is to show you by doing. So we're going to have one arm on our lap, just like so. And remember where we create the thread the needle here, we're going to rotate up, and then we're going to rotate down and thread the needle through. So we're going to go back and forth between the two here. I have got some adaptations for you as well. So if you can do this, that's great. If you can't come down where you thread that needle through, you can always come across the front of yourself instead. So you don't have to come quite as far down. But essentially what I want you to do, similar to the rotation we just did, but it's just a little bit more focused on doing it in that slightly flexed position as well. So we're combining the flexion and the rotation together and going back and forth between the two. And keep that going. I'm just going to watch everybody, make sure he's got that good. Excellent. Now, as we do this, what I want you to do is when we're at the top position, I want you to count for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then as you come down and through, I want you to hold that position for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, and then go back and forth between the two. And hopefully, if you can feel the stretch in this area, you might be able to feel a bit of a stretch. That's the position I want you to hold, that 3-second count. Yeah, let's swap over to the other side now. So other arm, so your forearms on the lap, rotating out, rotating in. We'll just do back and forth. We don't have to do the hold yet. we'll just do the mobilization so we get into the flow of things. And then now let's do our hold. So hold for 3 seconds in the down position and in the up position. A bit of ease out of it there. Let's bring it into the middle here with our palms together. And if you can, try and get the elbows together as well. And then we're going to try and come up, try to keep those elbows together as best you can. As you come up, they're going to naturally want to separate. As you do so, you can open up those arms, going round the best you can. If you can't get your arms up above your head, just get to where you can. So even if it's a smaller range of motion, that's fine. But try and keep those elbows together as much as you can, for as long as you can. And as I said, as you go up, your shoulders will naturally want to separate them. You want to try and keep them together. But as long as you can, you'll feel maybe even a little bit of shaking as you do so, which is perfectly normal. It's almost Christmas theme. We all look like Christmas trees right now. I mean, all of you are already sparkling every day anyway. It's just now we've got the shape with it as well. Yeah, let's reverse that round, which can be a little bit trickier to come in. But as you do so, try and bring those elbows together as you come down. So still focusing on that. You feel, at least I do when we do this, just slightly shifts. It almost feels like it's lowering my shoulders as I'm doing it on the way down. I'm not sure why. Good, well, let's just use some shoulder rotations there, just to ease out of that. Good work. All right, then let's go into what's time? Okay, cool. We've got time for that. Good. Let's do some of our Tai Chi now. So moving into just nice, gentle flowing movements where you bring the arms up, bring them down, and we'll just start with up and down to begin with. Just nice, easy movements up to around about eye level with the hands and down. And as always with this, it's fluid movements. So I want to imagine our arms are almost like paintbrushes going up and down a canvas. So it's not all robotic like a zombie or something, but nice, gentle, flowing movements. Okay, we come up to the front, back down, up to the left next, back down, up to the front again. And back down, up to the right on the next one. Back down, and then up to the front again. So you can see the pattern there, up to the front, to the left, to the front, to the right, repeating through. In your own time and pace with this, but nice controlled, and that should hopefully come across as nice, smooth, fairly slow movements as well. Yeah, let's move on now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come up to the left side. We're going to drop the left hand down and we're going to float 1, change arms over, 2, change again, 3. Good, arms down. Then we're going to come up to the right side, drop the right arm down, go 1, switch hands, drift again, 2, switch hands, drift again, 3. We're on the left side now, drop down, back up to the left side, the left arm comes down, drifting 1, 2, and 3. And again, back down to the right side, back up the right side, right arm drops down, we get 1, 2, And 3. Looks like you've all got that there. So continue at your own pace. Nice and gentle and controlled. Right. Let's now do one hand up, like so. We're gonna bring the other hand and bring it to it, and almost like we're hanging up the washing, going over to one side, then over to that side and back. Withdraw that hand over to the other side, the other one comes to join it. It's almost like those balls you see on a string, and they're the office tool that you see on the people's desks. Newton's cradle, that's what it's called. This one involves us using our core a little bit, using those shoulder muscles to keep those arms up. If you're feeling tired at any point, you can always drop your arms back down and then bring them back up when you're ready to. Some of you look like you're doing a symphony orchestra, which is great. Yeah, and then relax that down. Okay, let's go into our meditation to finish off here. And we'll start to relax down with our breathing, going in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then whenever you're ready to, you can start to close those eyes down. Breathing in, breathing out, focusing on that breath to start with. Nice, relaxing breathing. Okay, so we are going to go for one of our forest walks again today, but we're going to theme it slightly towards Christmas, and we're going to imagine a wintry version of our forest walk. And so as we open up our mind's eye, we're going to start to picture the scene and picture our forest environment. But this time I want you to have the trees as evergreen trees, much like a Christmas tree, smaller, bigger ones. And you're going to picture there's going to be some snow on the ground, on the pines, on the needles on the tree. And just start to picture that environment. Opening up, imagining the colors, imagining how the light is glistening in the snow. Maybe you can see some footprints or wheelchair prints in the snow where you've been before. And we can start to maybe even picture some on theme animals, maybe some reindeers, maybe some robins, just general animals that you might find in this more Christmassy environment, I would say. Sort of a wintry environment here. Now you started to picture the environment in your mind. Let's start to bring in some sound into the area. This can either be the sound of the forest, or if you want to think of maybe a favorite carol that you like, maybe a little jingle in your mind as you're going through. Picturing that scene as you do so. Start to bring in this sensation of smell as well, feeling that crispness because of the snow, that moisture in the atmosphere. Maybe the smell of the pine needles, whatever it may be, you just start to picture all of that in your mind, what this environment would smell like. You can even imagine the smell of Christmas dinner, if that's something that you do, whether that's the smell of apple and cinnamon, however you like to picture this scene. And just be here in a moment. Just flesh out that scene. I will leave you here for a minute for you to just flesh out that scene even more and just be in that area. Yeah, let's start to gently close down that scene within your mind. Keeping that your eyes closed though, let's thank ourselves for being here today. And also, I know that most of you here come to every, if not all of the sessions that we do. And obviously we're going to be taking a little break for the mindful movement sessions for the end of this year. So I just want you to think back over the last year and how well you've done with your consistency, turning up here on a frequent basis and giving yourself a big pat on the back, round of applause, however you want to say thank you to yourself for doing this. And hopefully we can continue this together through the next year and beyond that as well. So yeah, give yourself a well done for doing that for this year, however you want to do it. Obviously, if you come into tomorrow's session, I will see you there. But thank you very much for joining me as we start to open up your eyes, come to the end of the session. And again, thank you very much for joining me today, this year, for all of these sessions that we've done.